Bopping and moving and bopping and moving. Here we go, here we go. We're gonna do some gay shit tonight.
We're alive, yeah?
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't do that just for you, though I would have done that just for you.
I appreciate that. Welcome to the year 1986, everyone, and welcome to Hong Kong.
Yeah, just a warning, I might get a buzz at the door and I might have to like run away for a second. But other than that, yeah. This is a game made by Oracle and Bone, the studio. It's 2 people. I should say that I got this game for free because they came to my work and gave a presentation. Also, is the game too loud? I can see that like I'm only slightly louder than the game. I can turn it down or I can turn me up. And I should probably turn Brianna up too. Brianna, can you say a thing?
Hi,
Brianna's eating.
hello.
Okay. Game's a little loud? Okay. Alright, we're bringing it down. We're bringing it down. There we go. How's this? I had to hit y'all with the vibe, obviously. Coming strong.
We're in it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we should start. I mean, in terms of settings, there's not much. We've got 4 languages. I don't know what rollback side is, and I don't really want to mess with this skip feature, so I'm just gonna hit play. Now it's too quiet. Oh, are we gonna narrate this, by the way, or?
Oh yeah, we should narrate this, right?
Okay. I'll start by narrating. There are 2 main characters, and I think we do have to, like, we don't have. The game will not make us, but we as people, I think, have to choose who we are, right?
Yeah. I think you
okay.
should start.
Okay. When I think of my life, what I have, and what I've accomplished, I think I'm quite content with what it is. I had a comfortable upbringing thanks to the hard work of my parents. I had a very typical family. My father worked to support the household, and my mother was a homemaker. You could say I was a spoiled child. I went to a private school. Whatever toys, clothes, or snacks I could have asked for, my father would have bought it for me. I was a princess. My parents had grown up quite poor after the war. When my father was a young man, he came to Hong Kong by himself from the mainland countryside to find work. He had lost contact with his family during those tumultuous times after the war and the political upheavals that followed. My father had worked his way up from a man doing odd jobs day and night until he eventually became a successful restaurant owner. My mother came from a large family. She wasn't given the opportunity to complete her schooling. She had to quit school at 14 and work to support her family. She had worked many years as a waitress before meeting my father. I suppose the sharp contrast between my upbringing compared to that of my parents was partly their desire to give me a childhood better than theirs. And I think it was a good childhood that they gave me, a storybook childhood. When I was in Form 4 of high school, I received tragic news which would change my family forever. I remember it vividly being a sunny, bright blue day in September. I was in good spirits. It was warm and clear outside. Classes had just restarted after summer vacation, and we students were chattering away during the lunch hour about what we've done during the summer. I was in mid-recital of a well-rehearsed story about my summer trip to Taiwan when my teacher had asked me to step out. It had been the first trip I had ever made with my family on an airplane. I was quite excited to share the details of my trip to my classmates. I've never done anything that would require an interdisciplinary meeting with the principal. To be singled out like that, my heart dropped. I feared that it was some kind of family emergency. I was worried. I got up from my desk amidst the stares of my classmates, and I followed my teacher out of the room. I found that it had been my mother who was waiting to meet me in the school hallway. She was pale. The perfectly permed hair was frizzy. I knew that something was wrong, but even then, she couldn't tell me exactly what happened. It was my teacher who told me that I was excused from afternoon classes. and that I should accompany my mother to meet my father in the hospital. Thinking back, I don't think I ever finished telling my friends how I made my family walk from Raohei night market to Ningxia night market and getting my family lost along the way. My young and naive self had vastly underestimated the walking distance between the two places, but my parents had indulged in my wishes. It became a long and languid walk filled with laughter and memorable discoveries, much more than a quick car ride would have ever been. It'll be a private memory I'll treasure always in my heart. I left the school with my mother. She called for a cab to take us to the hospital. I sat in silence for the entire duration of the car ride. My mother has always been a tight-lipped person, never saying anything more than necessary. I wanted her to reassure me that everything would be okay, but that would have been asking too much from her. My mother was not an emotionally strong woman. It was my father who had been a pillar of support in my family. I had such a foreboding feeling in my heart. I remember feeling so nauseous during that car ride. There was so much traffic that day. There was an accident on one of the arterial roads, creating havoc for traffic. It was supposed to be a 10-minute ride, but because of the accident, it became a 60-minute trip. When we arrived at the hospital, my father had already been pronounced dead. If I knew it was going to be like this, I would have gotten out of the car and walked. And we might have been able to see him before he passed away. But who could ever predict these things? I couldn't be too hard on myself on this part. But there was not anything I could have done for my father then. My father had been in a car accident en route to meet a business partner. His vehicle was in mid-turn, and unbeknownst to my father, an oncoming truck ran the red light. It was unfortunate. It was truly a terrible turn of events. My father died that September afternoon. I wish I could have said goodbye. The next station is Central, interchange station for the Blue Island Lane. My carefree youth had ended then. My mother, too, was never quite the same. She became much more anxious and protective of me, understandably so. Perhaps if my father was still around, I wouldn't be the same person that I am now. I was too childish, too naive. I didn't realize how much of a spoiled child I was. I knew I had to change myself. For the sake of my mother and the memory of my father, I had to become independent and self-reliant. I plunged myself into study to keep my thoughts preoccupied from the reality of our situation. We no longer had family trips. Our table for 3 became a table for 2. My mother sold my father's business, his car, and boxed up his belongings. We moved into a smaller house. Sorry, I'm just gonna delete.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to remember how to delete things.
I got it.
Cool. Thank you.
We moved into a smaller house. My widowed mother didn't want to take over my father's business. She was afraid of being surrounded by too many reminders of my father's death. I never did learn how to drive. But even in death, my father still provided support for us. My father had taken out a sizable life insurance policy before his death, as if he had known something was going to happen. My widowed mother was able to use that money to send me to university and afford a modest home in Kowloon. She could continue her lifestyle as a homemaker and could continue to direct my focus towards my studies. It was as if I could live our lives the same way whether or not my father was still alive. It frustrated me deeply how well we could adjust ourselves after his death. So I kept pushing myself. I didn't have any particular aspirations. I just didn't want to be someone that would bring shame to my family. I wanted to be someone that would make them proud. I had kept myself fully engaged with study, and whatever interaction I had with my peers already seemed like a distant memory. Even now, at the age of 23, it feels as if my days of being young had long passed. Oof. But it's not like I studied fortuitously without aim or purpose. My efforts were rewarded when my academic standing proved sufficient to land me an esteemed secretarial job at an international publishing firm shortly upon graduation. I was a secretary in title, but not in a normal sense. I answer only and directly to my supervisor. I handle whatever task she asks of me. It can be challenging work sometimes, but I feel fairly competent at what I do. I felt that now my effort had finally produced something of an achievement. My modest success can be attributed to the work ethic that my father had instilled in me. He'd always put his family first and gave his best effort each day to his work. If my father is in heaven watching over me, I hope he can see this and be proud. My days at the office are like a marathon, day after day. Each day will have its own set of challenges. A typical day is as follows. I arrive at work. I note down with complete accuracy the minutes of the daily morning meeting. Once that's finished, I proceed to schedule appointments for our business clients and our marketing staff. Sooner or later, lunchtime rolls in. I'll have the usual meal of barbecue pork rice at the nearby family restaurant. Whether I leave late or early, take out or dine in, the wait in the line for the lunch rush is always the same. After a quick break, I'm back to the daily grind of work. I'll continue working on my reports. From here on, the flow of time speeds up. I'll continue receiving calls and letters from clients. I take great care to make appropriate correspondence with them all. I can spend several hours at my computer desk without knowing that the sun had already set outside. A day's work will usually finish close to 8 p.m. I'll tidy up, leave my completed reports on my supervisor's desk for her to review in the morning. It will usually be dark outside when I begin my commute home from work. I'll walk back to the station for my office, pass by hundreds of people in a rush to their own destinations. I walk quickly, or else I'll be pushed back to wait for the later train. As soon as I step onto the train, the flow of time slows to a crawl. The train ride is our reprieve. We have no control over how slow or fast it'll take us to our destinations. As someone who had a SkyTrain commute, that's pretty relatable.
Mm-hmm. This is like deeply relatable content.
Also, apologies if I can't apologize for Brianna, but if I mispronounce any of the like city names or location names.
No, Claire will also be apologizing for me.
Yeah, I'll be apologizing for everybody. If you make a
I will
mistake,
be taking no responsibility. It's all Claire's fault. And
yeah, congrats. I'm your scapegoat for tonight. Hi, it's me, your scapegoat. Yeah, I am. I mean, this is like trauma. She has maybe a little bit. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. All right.
Yeah, very
I'm gonna
normal.
keep
She's
that.
a very normal.
I feel like I should save. Save. Boop. Okay, cool. I can
Ooh,
save it like
cool save.
anytime.
Cool save menu.
Yeah. The aesthetics of this game are amazing.
Mhm.
Have I already said that the buzzer might go off?
You have.
And I apologize. Okay, cool. So everybody knows. Sorry if that happens. All right. Yes. All right. I rest my eyes on the train. I will have journeyed through the center of the earth and back by the time I need to disembark. On a typical day, I'll arrive home by 9 p.m. Mother will be waiting for me with a hot meal and we'll have our dinner together. After eating, if I'm in the mood, perhaps I'll continue reading my book or join my mother watching television. Whatever I choose to do for leisure, fatigue always comes quickly to me. I'll shower and prepare for the next day. Once I place my head on the pillow, it's lights out. Slip into the unconscious world in an instant. The sun rises, and the next day repeats. A day without incident is what I call a good day. Like the clockwork accuracy of the subway system, I like to structure my day in a timetable precise to the minute. A single minute can change the flow of the entire day. If you miss one bus, it can lead to missing every other connection. 5-minute delay can become a 30-minute delay, especially with the compounding congestion and traffic of modern city living. It's important to treasure every single minute. Though sometimes, despite your best efforts, there are things that occur beyond your own foresight. Today was a day with incident. The usual overhead walkway leading to my office was closed for maintenance. All foot traffic was diverted to other routes. I had to make quite a detour to reach my building. In my hurry, I hadn't noticed when one of my heels had caught on the sewer grid, and lo and behold, when I rushed to take my next step, the heel had snapped cleanly off my shoe. My beautiful heels.
Damn.
Fiore or Fior?
It's definitely supposed to be Fior.
Fior. I know designer brands. Fior, new collection. Comfortable to wear and stylishly formal. It cost a month's paycheck, but it was an investment towards success. To break it in such a way, of course I was upset. It was entirely unsalvageable. And to add insult to injury, I had to hobble my way into the nearest convenience store and purchase a pair of embarrassingly homely sandals to wear. Today was already turning out to be a disaster. I had worn these conspicuous sandals into work, and because of that, I was the receiving end of much teasing from my coworkers. Even the newest hire felt he could approach me and make a joke about the kitchen slippers on my feet. Today, I earned a new nickname at the office. Slippers Chung. Chung? Slippers Chung. I didn't know how long it would take to live this down. I resolved to never make a mistake again. It's a normal thing.
This is so normal. She's having a normal one.
She's completely normal. Everyone's like this. Everyone understands.
I just want to say, fuck them coworkers.
Yeah, fuck the coworkers. But also, yeah, everyone has.
You gotta make sure she's fine with the joke before you start making the joke.
I mean, that would be the nice thing to do, yes. But I don't think that was their intention.
No, I know.
Okay. All right. This incident had set my whole day off. I was frazzled. Fumbled with the phone and Xerox machine. My usual 0.01% error rate in transcribing and typing had been more than tripled. Girl. Not a lot. How do you even calculate that? That's so small. All right. Today might have been the longest workday ever. I had to get it together. My supervisor, Mrs. Tam, noticed my distress and pulled me aside. Mrs. Tam personally hired me as her secretary, saying that I reminded her of her younger self. Mrs. Tam is a remarkable woman. She facilitated the rapid growth of her company for the past 20 years. If there's something she's more passionate about other than money making, it had to be shoes. She herself is an aficionado of designer shoes. There's a rumor among my colleagues that she has a closet filled with over 10,000 pairs of luxury market shoes. I have never seen her wear the same shoes twice, so it is a rumor founded with reason. It would be a dream come true to see such a collection with my own eyes. Anyway, I digress. Mrs. Tam recommended that I have the shoe repaired at a cobbler in Mongkok. She said their prices are very reasonable and that they could flawlessly fix any shoe within an hour. Took down her directions. I made it my mission to have it fixed as soon as possible so I could put this embarrassment behind me. If Mrs. Tam recommended this shoe cobbler, he must be no ordinary shoe cobbler. After what was an embarrassingly long workday on my feet, I made my way to the shoe cobbler in Mongkok. Unfortunately for me, it was a busier day than usual on the train. I had to endure the number of stares from people on the train eyeing my pink slippers. I hurried off the train as soon as I could. Stepped into another crowded place.
Sorry, just brief. I think
Yeah.
a thing that I forget a lot and that people forget a lot is like
Yeah.
how like bygone eras like the 80s and stuff were so weird about professionalism. The way that, like, people are still weird about it.
Yeah.
But like
you can
an
get away with
entire
it in
train
some
staring at
places. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you're right. Like the whole train, I don't think people in like the Vancouver SkyTrain would give that much of a shit. Also, the music is a little loud. I'm gonna turn it down a bit for y'all.
But it also whips.
It also does whip. This is extremely good music. I don't normally frequent this area as I find navigating its busy crowds and labyrinths of shops and stalls such an ordinary ordeal every time I visit. It was certainly busy tonight, as it always was. The amount of people on the streets, the smells, and the sounds can be overwhelming. I tried to find my bearings. The cobbler shouldn't be that far from the station exit, according to my supervisor. I looked again at the directions that were dictated to me by Miss Tam. Take the east exit and walk towards the convenience store across the street. Continue past the convenience store and look for a bakery. Go past the bakery and take a left at the cosmetic store. Continue down the road until you reach a pharmacy and turn right. The cobbler should be at the next street corner. Scratched my head. Landmarks indicated certainly would have applied to any other place. With some effort, I was able to find the shoe cobbler in a back alley a bit away from the main thoroughfare.
That's how you know it's a good shoe cobbler.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It was a small store tucked into the street corner. The lights were on, but the gates appeared closed, however. I thought Miss Tam had said it was open till late. I guess that's me. I guess I'm Michelle. After all the time it took me to find this place. There's a sign that reads, "Call for service." There's no number listed. There's no buzzer either. Am I supposed to just yell? Well, I've already come this far. Excuse me? Thought I heard rustling sounds. Is there anyone there? Excuse me? I listened in. There were sounds of a TV or a radio coming from within the closed-up shop. I heard sounds of a person shuffling from inside the store. I think this is you. I think this is you,
Yeah,
Brianna.
It sure is.
A woman soon appeared out of the closed gates. She had the look of someone who would describe herself as an artist. Her permed hair, that's right, we're in the 80s, permed hair, here we go. Her permed hair was styled to look intentionally messy. Garish plastic earrings dangled from her ears with impunity, never appearing to get caught in her long hair. She wore a graphic t-shirt under faded jean overalls. I didn't recognize the image on her shirt. I suppose it was the logo of a brand I didn't know. She didn't appear young enough to be a teenager, though she dressed like a valley girl out of an American movie. Her face was much too lean and her eyes too sharp. She was taller than me, too. I took a good look at her shoes. Also just want to note, immediately noting the height of the other woman. Just saying.
Heterosexual behavior.
Extremely heterosexual behavior. I took a good look at her shoes. They were off-white canvas sneakers with a mark on the rubber sole. I began to question Mrs. Tam's choice of recommendation.
Oh, a customer. Wait just a moment.
Are you the cobbler?
Who, me? No. I'm Sam, his daughter.
Oh,
We were just watching replays of the World Cup game.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
Not at all. What brings you here? A broken shoe, or is it a broken heart? I offer consultations for both.
Huh? The woman winked at me. I was confused. I was confused. Was I at the right place? I was about to excuse myself when a man came out of the half-open store. He had a reliable look to him. Do you want to be this man?
Yeah, I can be all the side characters until we have more, like...
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, don't stare off my customers! Sorry, young lady. I'm the owner of the store, Mr. Wong. My daughter is quite nosy and likes to talk nonsense. Don't mind her.
I see.
Are you dropping these shoes off in your bag to be fixed?
Yes, that's right. I broke the heel on this one. Do you think it can be fixed?
Oh, what a nice shoe! It must have been so expensive.
Yes, it'll be a shame to throw it out.
Let me see. Oh, this? It'll be an easy fix. I can make it as good as new. I'll have it done in under an hour.
Really? Then I'll leave them with you. Thank you very much.
That's my master cobbler of a father for you. Wong Kaiyan, you should go back to your own store already. After I've come so far to visit you? You can visit me anytime. Alright. I'll get going. It's about dinner time anyway.
If it's alright with you, I'll come back later tonight to pick up the shoes.
Of course.
Excuse me.
Bye.
I feel like you're gonna talk to yourself a lot on this, Brianna. Though, it happens.
It happens.
The shoe cobbler has quite an odd daughter. What did she mean by consultation? Yeah, what did she mean? Hey, everybody, what do you think she meant by consultation?
I don't know. Maybe she like gives relationship advice or something like that. You know, she's very knowledgeable about that sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Maybe she's some matchmaker or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like. Sorry, Fen, we haven't been reading some of your comments. Like, in the meantime, take my daughter on a very fast date.
It's really good.
Yeah. Well, I'll have this done in under an hour, which means you have 50 minutes to get some food and come back. God. All right. Well, anyway. I'm sure it didn't mean anything. Probably just her eccentric sense of humor. I came here to have my shoes fixed. All I can do now is wait. I have to put my trust in Mrs. Tam and the cobbler she recommended. But what should I do while waiting? I suppose I can look at some of the shoes in this area. It's been a while since I've taken my time to look around here.
Shops, not shoes.
Oh, sorry. Well, am I that wrong though, given this character?
I don't think so.
Yeah, thank you for catching that. Sorry if I dyslexia my way through the words.
I'll say if it's anything important,
You'll correct it? Cool. It's been a while since I've taken my time to look around here. Ah, that's right. Look at the pet stores. That would have confused me if I had read shoes and then I got to that line. Pet shoes, little doggy shoes. I don't think that was that a thing in the 80s? I feel like that's a weird turn of the century 2000s.
I think it's a modern thing. But
I also
like
wouldn't be shocked if
they had
someone probably did it. Someone did it.
I think if they had little dog booties, they would be very
they wouldn't be
tacky.
like cheap. Yeah, they'd be like no one would it wouldn't be like mainstream. So you'd have like a very either good one, but it would be good in like the worst way, like you're saying.
Yeah.
There's a few nearby. I glanced at my watch and made a mental note of the time. I'll make my way back to the cobbler in an hour. Afterwards, I'll catch the express bus directly home. It shouldn't take much effort at all to pass an hour waiting here, I thought. There was a street where a few pet stores were next to one another. I looked at a few storefronts, chuckled to myself. Nothing much has really changed since then. The kittens at the window displayed were at the window display were curled up together in a ball sleeping. Oh, adorable. And the puppies? One chased his tail round and round in a circle. Another one wagged her tail and barked at me when I made contact with her. Very cute. I'm much too busy to take care of a pet now. But when I was a small child, having a pet seemed like an essential thing for my happiness. I would ask my mother and father if I could take home a kitten or a puppy whenever we passed by one of these pet stores. I used to tell my parents that it was so pitiful for these animals to be caged and put on display like this, and better for their welfare if I could take one home to love and care for. But a pet was the one thing my parents didn't fully indulge me with. My mother would not hear any of it. My father compromised and got me a turtle. I didn't think much favorably towards the turtle.
Why
pet
not?
Turtle.
Turtles are fucking fantastic.
I do have to say, if you're like a 7-year-old, a turtle is not that fascinating unless you are a specific kind of 7-year-old, which some of the
Brianna
people.
Price, and I love turtles, and I've loved turtles since before I was 7. One time, and then after a dinner at Applebee's, I let a balloon go, and I'd seen an ad about how turtles will like choke on balloons that will fly into the atmosphere, and I cried for like 30 minutes because that's how much I liked turtles at the age of 7.
I did cry when I let go of my first balloon, but that was mostly just because I was sad that I didn't have my balloon. There was nothing.
That was the other reason I cried. But
yeah,
that's the turtle was also an important factor there.
I feel I was about to say not a lot of 7-year-olds would like turtles, except for probably many of my friends.
Only the weirdos.
One of them. Only the weirdos. I don't know if I would be that engaged with a turtle, because I would like look at it and I'd get bored of it and I'd be like, I'm done with it. Like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah. Seda in the chat says, first of all, Fenrir says a turtle's a legit great pet. Yes, true. Absolutely. Seda says, my sister has been sending me the most meditative videos of a turtle. She accidentally adopted. The vibes are incredible. I need you to send me these videos, Seda, if you can. These sound incredible. I love this. This is great.
All right. I'm sorry I didn't treat you with much love. It was my father who cared for you then. I stepped inside one of the stores. The sound of splashing water from the aquarium tanks brought back childhood memories of when I was a small child, and my father would hold me up in his arms to look at the fish. My eyes would light up with wonder at all the colorful fish swimming and darting around in the tank. I walked further into the store. My eyes followed the contrasting oranges and reds of schooling fish against the blue. I didn't know how long I must have stared at the tanks. The deep blue of the fish tanks was something you could get lost in. Over the steady hum of the ultraviolet aquarium lights, I heard the sound of the door chime. I saw the same woman from the shoe cobbler step into the pet store. She looked to her left and right. She appeared to be looking for something. Well, whatever it wasn't any of my business. I looked the other way. There were goldfish on display. Some had eye sacs that bulged out of their eyes. This feature seemed more of an impediment to their swimming ability than something of an aesthetic value. I caught my own reflection in the glass tank. I suppose my swollen eyes weren't that different. Oh, Brianna has just dropped. Rip to Brianna. Rip to Brianna. I don't know where Brianna went. Well, she's dead, everybody. I'm sorry. I've killed Brianna. I was the scapegoat after all. Okay. Brianna's computer has just died, so she will be right back. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back, like, very shortly. Hello. I'm a necromancer. Hi. I revived Brianna.
I lived. I lived. Fun fact: my comment in chat was a reference to The Princess Bride, which came out 1 year after 1986. So that's just a little fun fact for you about the 80s.
Wow. Wait. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. For some reason, I thought you said 1996, and you were like, it's a year before I was born.
No, the 1996 was the year
Yeah.
I was born. Yeah, Salt Cravings ARG is real. See if you can catch all the hints throughout the period of time where I was dead. Aha.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Aha.
Uh-huh. The normal. All right. Let's keep going. I feel like we're about to get to some shit, some real shit here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So do you know what just happened? The other person walked in and I'm just looking at fish. I'm ignoring you.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know the other person walked in, but that's good.
Okay, yeah. The other, so it's Michelle and Sam. Sam just walked in.
Ooh,
And was like looking around, but Michelle was like, none of my business. I'm gonna continue to look at fish, and that's where we're at.
I think it's about to be your business, Michelle.
Well, we'll see. I'm just here for fish. I've been looking at a computer monitor all day. I could put on an iPad when I got home. Something mustard yellow appeared in front of my eyes. It was the reflection of that woman's earrings against the glass. My eyes instinctively followed her movements. She walked past me. She had the store attendant bag something from one of the tanks in the back of the store. Then, holding her bag, she walked over to the fish food section of the store and seemed to contemplate a long time over which fish pallets she should purchase. She had to give each container a hard shake, as if the sound of the rattling pellets was a factor to consider in her decision-making. Just gonna say, the only reason that Michelle would know this is if she was staring at Sam the whole time. Just saying.
She's just following her earrings movements.
Yeah, it's fine. She ended up picking the larger of the two containers. What a strange person. I saw her look my way. I turned around quickly. I didn't want her to think I was staring.
Oh my god, this is just...
Yeah.
This is just like in the 1996 Romeo and Juliet film. It came out 10 years after...
You can't do this.
I'm sorry, it's the same scene!
Is it?
It literally is!
In a fish store? It's a pet store with fish in it, not a fish store. It is?
It's
okay.
not in the fish store, but they do look at each other from opposite sides of a fish tank in a bathroom.
Okay.
It's normal.
All right. In a bathroom? All right. I'm going to keep going. I'm letting us sort of linger because we're going to get these like full like shots. And they're just beautiful. They're beautiful. Pretty. There's so many good art. If anyone saw what I was posting on Twitter, those are directly from the website. You can go to their website, just type a Summer's End. And they have so many good pieces of art in their gallery section. Anyways, I'm going to keep going. When I looked up again, I saw her standing across from me. Our eyes met. There was a moment of pause between us. I didn't know if I should talk to her. It's not like we knew each other. She thought otherwise, and she smiled as if she had found an old friend. She waved at me, her animated gesture not at all phasing the fish in the tanks.
Young lady!
She stepped around to stand beside me.
Are you buying goldfish?
Huh? No, I'm just passing time while waiting.
I see.
You're from the shoe cobbler, right? Is something the matter?
Oh, no. I was just buying fish food.
I see.
The thought came to me when I saw you and I thought I should ask. There's this place I like nearby. Would you like to get something to eat with me?
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Huh? Oh, the first choice of the game. Here we go. Oh, okay. Who are we? Who are we?
Oh. That.
Do we do naive or do we do kind of brash? Because the middle one doesn't speak to me.
Middle one does not speak to me. I kind of like I don't know. I'm worried that if we choose naive, we won't go on the date, but we'll go on the date, right?
Well, I don't know. There are multiple endings to this. I don't know how many, but like,
I want a lesbian ending.
You want a lesbian ending? All right, we're gonna be kind of forward. We're gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're paying for the meal.
Of course, it's on me. You're waiting for your shoe and have some time to spare, right?
I am, but I'm sure you're a busy person.
No, don't worry. I'm running some errands for my dad, so I have to go back to the cobbler later anyway.
She had a bag of something fishy. What pet food had to do with the cobbler, I did not know.
I was thinking of getting some takeout, but you know, food is always better dining in and shared.
Right.
When you're alone, they always seat you at a big table with other strangers anyway.
I'm a stranger too, though.
So if you don't mind, would you like to eat together?
I don't really want to be a bother to you.
No, I insist. By the time we finish eating, your shoes will be ready too.
Is this a technique for this girl to swindle me?
If you want something else, that's okay too. There's a lot of food stalls around here. I can show you the good ones.
It's fine. You don't have to.
Alright, then it's settled. Let's go to the restaurant.
Just like that? She linked my arm with hers and led me to the diner across the road. I tried to decline her politely, but I could not utter a strong enough reason to avoid her. It was forward and uncouth of her to push me around like that, but I hazarded to say anything to her about it. I wanted to get home as quickly as possible without any fuss or hassle. If I had to go along with this, then so be it. My poor shoes were being held hostage by this weird woman.
Also, love the comment in the chat from saying not to make a hack lesbian joke, but saying I want the lesbian ending, then choosing be forward does not really track. So true. So true.
You know what? You know what? Be the lesbian you want to see in the world, not the lesbian who you are. Claire Ross. Quotes by Claire.
Thank you for this. Yeah, she's being swindled real hard.
She's being swindled. Don't you hate when a woman swindles you? I hate being. All right. I was led into a small Hong Kong style diner. It was an unremarkable restaurant. A diner like this could be found in any district around Hong Kong. Sam pulled out the remarkably colorful plastic chair out for me. I hesitantly took my seat. I observed her set her mysterious bag down on the table as if it was a normal and everyday thing to do. She handed me a menu that she grabbed from the next table over. I quickly glanced at it. The menu items were typical. I wasn't thinking of eating much. I was more concerned about the bag she brought from the pet store. An outer opaque paper bag shielded her aquatic purchase from glances of other restaurant patrons. I was bewildered. She treated it like a purchase from a vegetable market, setting it on the table like that. I kept my handbag close to my side. Before I could continue with my thoughts, a waitress came over to take our order.
I just want to say, before we get into this, I've decided that the explanation for the pet store is that the cobbler eats fish food. Thank you. Okay.
He just really likes fish food. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he just really likes fish food. We all have our quirks. Have you decided? Order as you please.
Give me a moment.
All right, I'll order first. I'll get the beef brisket with rice noodles. I'll have milk tea with that. Oh, and I'll get the chef salad for takeout. That's it for me.
I'll order the clubhouse sandwich. You want to
Anything
be
to
the
drink?
waitress? Do you? You want to do that one again? I want that voice again.
Anything to drink?
The tea is fine, thank you.
Eating a sandwich for dinner? This place is known for their beef brisket.
I don't like to eat too much after 9 p.m. If you have too many carbohydrates in the late night, you'll gain weight easily, you know?
Really? Is that true? I eat late every day.
Well, maybe not for you. The waitress came back and placed on the table her order of milk tea. The cobbler's daughter proceeded to pour a whole sachet of sugar into the already sugary drink without tasting it first. She stirred in the sugar and took a sip. She reached for another sugar packet and was about to tear it open when she stopped herself. I must have made a face unconsciously.
I think it's fine as long as you eat in moderation. You should eat more, in fact. You want some of my brisket?
No, thank you. I'm not that hungry.
Do you work in an office? Those heels you dropped off were really impressive.
Yes, I work in a publishing company as a secretary.
An OL! Well, anyone would have figured. Your suit really gives it away.
It's not like being an OL is something to hide.
Absolutely. It's too bad your shoe broke. Your sandals right now really don't match your getup.
Are you making fun of me?
No, I just think it's really interesting. An OL wearing bright pink kitchen slippers to work? How refreshingly empowering.
Empowering? What do you mean by that?
Like someone who can command the attention of the whole room.
It was an accident that I broke my heels on my way to work. These slippers were just a replacement. Please don't try to categorize me as something based on one thing.
Well, you still went around town with them. That's gutsy. I would have picked out something less conspicuous to wear instead.
That's not like I had time to find something else to wear.
Alright, let's leave it at that. Say, do you have an aquarium?
Huh?
You were looking at the goldfish earlier.
Oh. No, I just like looking at the animals.
I see, that's cute.
Cute?
Can I ask you then? Are you a cat person or a dog person?
Cat person, right?
Cat person. This is a cat person, absolutely. Also, love Fenrir saying that Michelle needs to call her mom because she's usually home by now. Absolutely.
That's true, that's true. You know? Cat.
I see.
I think she's a dog person. I get dog person vibes from Sam.
This is absolutely a cat person and a dog person on a date.
Yeah,
The cat does not know it's a date.
Yeah. 100%. Yes, 100%. Why did you ask?
It's nothing really. I just wanted to make light conversation.
I see. Do you keep any pets? I saw you bought fish food.
I don't. The fish food is for my dad. Yes! Yes! Confirmed!
No, I swear this next thing is gonna explain it. He doesn't fucking eat the fish food.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it as a win. I'm taking it as a W.
All right.
Well, not him, but for his fish. God damn it! No! This game sucks. How about yourself?
In the corner of my eye, I saw the bag that she had put on the table was about to fall over. I heard a rustling noise. I wasn't sure what was in her bag, but whatever it was alive and trying to escape. She caught it before it fell off the dining table. She placed the bag again on the table, this time tucking it between the container of chili oil, and salt and pepper shakers. No.
I see.
Well, I kept a turtle before. It was more my father's pet turtle. I didn't really care for it.
That's okay. You know, my dad really loves his pet fish. Ah, I bought extra food for the fish. You can take some for the turtle.
She she motioned to take out the bag for all to see in the restaurant. Oh, wait. Please save it for yourself. I don't have the turtle anymore.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The poor turtle.
Well, I'm not sure what happened to it.
Eh, ran away? A turtle?
No, we let him go in the pond when my family moved.
The public pond?
Well, a lot of things happened at that time.
Oh, we haven't even introduced each other yet. My family name is Wong. My given name is Kayan. You can call me Sam, though. I have a small video store just around the corner near here.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
The shop is called Diamond Videos. It's a humble little store, but I have all sorts of boobies if you're interested in a recommendation. What's your name?
Jung Fong Ha. My English name is Michelle.
Michelle Fong Ha
Oh,
Chung.
that's you.
What a powerful name.
Please don't say my name so loud like that. It sounds so much like a Peking opera stage name. I wish my mother gave me a more cheerful name, like yours.
Eh. I think it's a beautiful and graceful name that your mother has given you. When I was in school, there were 5 other Kayans in my class. It was terribly confusing.
Really? That must be troublesome.
Right? So what made you choose Michelle as your English name? A lot of people I've met picked a name phonetically similar to their Chinese name.
Ah. It was my father who suggested that name to me. He said it was from an English song. I thought it sounded nice.
Oh, Isn't that from a famous song? I might have the record somewhere.
Really? I don't really listen to much Western music.
That's alright. What music do you listen to then?
I like artists like Sai Chin and Teresa Tang.
I see. Do you like Mandarin folk? That's interesting. I can see why you like it.
I like singers who express a lot of emotion in their songs, not just in Mandarin. I also like Anita Mui.
Is that so? I love Anita Moy. Her fashion and singing is top notch, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've been following her since she won the new talent competition. I admire how hard she works.
Right? She's an inspirational artist. Do you have a cassette player?
I do.
Would you like to listen to this mix I got? I got Anita Moy and other artists that I like on this.
Sam showed me a cassette tape she had in her pocket. She had one of those portable cassette players clipped onto her pants. On the cassette label was a handwritten playlist. I didn't recognize the names of the musicians other than Anita Moy and Deanie Ip.
Deanie Ip.
Deanie Ip. I saw she had the names of English artists written down, but I didn't know who they were. It's alright.
No? I have a bunch of these. I used to work in a record store some time ago, so I made them when the day was slow.
It's fine, you don't need to.
Aw.
I'll look into it later. Where did your name come from, Sam? It doesn't sound like your Chinese name at all.
A friend picked it out for me. When I was younger, I usually worked late tending the record store. It was a shop my friend had helped manage. At the end of the day, she'll come over to collect the money from the register, and she'll ask me to eat a late dinner with her. She's my senior, so she would just say, "Let's eat dinner." I seek mon enfant.
I don't know if that's like a translation or if it's like a game thing.
I don't know.
Oh.
She said it every time she saw me in the evening that she stopped addressing me by my Chinese name. She just greeted me with that phrase. So one day she got the bright idea of calling me Samantha. We worked at a semi-popular record store then. Sometimes English speakers would come in looking for certain records. My friend said it was better to have an English name. It makes it easier for business. So that's how the name Samantha stuck. I didn't like it at first. In fact, I felt that my friend was ridiculing me with that name. I adapted it to Sam. Before I knew it, everyone started calling me by that. I grew to like it.
I see. That's an interesting story. Samantha. It's hard to say.
That's why I don't mind people shortening it to Sam. Easier to say and easier to spell. Feels more personal, too.
I see.
You're not eating your salad.
I don't really like fruit salad when it's too creamy.
Don't waste it then. You should have gotten your sandwich with fries instead.
I didn't know it would be this kind.
It's always this kind of salad at these restaurants. Anyway, I'll eat it if you don't want it. They'll just trash it if you don't finish it. There's a lot of people starving in the world.
All right, if you really insist.
Thank you, I'll help myself.
You're really eating it.
What's that? You laugh at me?
I just think you're pretty interesting. We just met and now you're finishing my meal.
Well, I think if you live your life with too many reservations, you'll miss out on all the fun. You'll end up getting constipated, too.
I love Sam.
She's fun.
Just from not having the salad?
Well, maybe if you always don't eat salad.
It's not like I don't eat any salad. Okay, give it back. I'll have some too. Now you're laughing at me.
You're too funny.
That's what I should be saying to you. We continued talking about this and that after finishing the meal. Sam had an interesting perspective on things, I have to admit. I suppose it wasn't bad to pass time with a company like this.
Shall we head back? Your shoes should be fixed by now.
Oh, already? Okay. Let's get the bill.
Already got it.
When?
When you were in the washroom earlier.
That's not fair. Here, take this.
No, I asked you to dinner and ate most of your food. I had to get takeout for my dad anyway.
Still.
What did I say about having no reservations?
Alright then. Next time is on me, okay? Next time. Alright, Michelle. Make that
Michelle.
move.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's have sukiyaki next time.
Sukiyaki? That's not fair.
How about conveyor belt sushi then?
Huh? If you can limit yourself to just one plate.
Hey, I'm just joking.
We walked back to the shoe cobbler together. I couldn't bring myself to ask her age. I guess she was a few years older than me. She gave me the air of an older sister. I laughed lightly to myself. An older sister wearing a t-shirt and sneakers. A younger sister wearing a full blazer suit. The thought of it was amusing.
Michelle? What's so funny?
Huh? It's nothing.
The shop's the other way.
I remembered wrong.
You don't come here often?
No, not really.
Follow me this way. Just a quick walk back.
Okay.
Here we are. Hey, Dad, we're back. You girls came back together? Are the shoes finished? Of course, they finished them a long time ago. As expected from the Grandmaster. Don't call me that. Oh, here's your fish food and your dinner. Don't get the bags mixed up.
Only confirming your head canon.
I won't. Wink, thank you. I control the narrative now. For only this one specific bit. Huh? There's only one box. Did you eat already? I already ate with Michelle. Huh? With her?
Thank you, sir. Here's the payment. I'll come by again next time if I need another repair done.
No need to be so polite. Come by anytime.
I gave Mr. Wong the payment for his service in exchange for my repaired shoes. Finally, my ordeal is over.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Uh-huh. I should head out.
Alright.
I'll be going home. It's gotten quite late now.
My bad for keeping you long. I appreciate you for keeping me company.
No, I should say thank you. Thanks for taking care of me today.
My pleasure. Are you taking the subway? I can walk you to the station entrance.
No, it's fine. I decided to take a taxi instead.
Okay. I already see one coming down this way. Help you flag it down.
Sam raised her hand, and a passing taxi immediately pulled over to the side for her. She opened the passenger seat door for me. Thanks.
Michelle. It was nice meeting you. I enjoyed talking with you.
Me too. Sam seemed to wait for my response. I looked away. I felt an anticipatory gaze from Sam. Something about the way she looked at me made my heart pound. I didn't know why it made me feel this way. Never had such a feeling before with anyone. The taxi's loud radio filled the void of silence between us. I should say something to her at least. Visit the store, right?
I'll visit your store.
Yeah,
I think of her being flushed to be like, I'll visit your store.
I'll visit your store. There you go. And we can talk more next time.
Michelle. Yes, I'll look forward to it.
Sam. I wanted to say something more, but before I could speak, the taxi driver laid his horn.
Let's not keep the taxi driver waiting. Hope to see you again sometime. Bye-bye.
I got in the car. Sam closed the door, and the taxi sped off away into the night. In a few turns, the car had left Mongkok. I forgot to say goodbye to her. Another one of the beautiful pieces of art in this game.
I love Mr. Wong's reaction. I don't know if this is like true, but it definitely felt like he was being like, "Oh, I didn't expect that you were a lesbian." My daughter.
Oh, you think he knows?
I don't think he does, but it's fun to read it that way. Yeah, this is a beautiful frame.
All of the art in this is so good. I'm obsessed. Again, if you want, so I've like already downloaded a couple of the pieces from their gallery, and they are in my like background rotation. I would highly recommend if you want some beautiful backgrounds for your computer. Go check it out. It had taken me longer than expected, but I accomplished what I had sought out to do today. I opened the bag that I had received from Mr. Wong. I examined the shoes. The heel was repaired perfectly. There were no signs of damage to be found. It looked as good as new, exactly what Mr. Wong had promised. It had been quite a day of mishap, but in the end, I couldn't help giggling to myself in the taxi. funny how things work out sometimes. Sam and Mr. Wong were a peculiar daughter and father pair. They talked so nonchalantly. Would have thought that they were siblings instead. I guess some families were like that. They're certainly interesting people. Especially that girl, Sam. Sometimes inconveniences can lead to memorable moments beyond what could ever be expected. I haven't let myself go with the flow of things for so long that I've almost forgotten this feeling. It was nice sometimes. I met someone new tonight. A shoe cobbler's daughter. A video store owner in Bangkok. I wondered if our paths would cross like it did again. The taxi made a turn off the bypass. I'd be home in a few moments. I could put my feet up and indulge myself in a good novel. My feet were just throbbing after a long day of running back and forth from here and there. I took a peek at my shoes again. I was excited to wear these shoes tomorrow. They were polished and shiny. Looked even better than before. My building complex came into view. I hoped my mother didn't mind me coming home a bit later than usual. You were right, Fen. Should have called her mother.
Should have called her mom. Mom's gonna come be like, where the fuck were you?
Wait, this is the 80s. I don't think you can easily find a phone. You have to like go to a payphone, right?
Yeah, that's what Fenrir was saying.
Oh, I see. That's like out of her way, and she's already like very like
payphones were everywhere.
Okay, you're right. You're right. It was a different time. I wasn't alive. I don't know. You're right. Anyways,
yeah,
I'd returned home quite late. I stepped into my house. The kitchen lights were off. My mother must have eaten dinner by now. She probably cleaned up and gone to bed already. Mother? Oh, I saw cooked dishes left out in the dining table. She didn't have to leave food out for me every time. I heard the sound of my mother's bedroom door open. Fong Ha? Oh, wait, I guess that's you. Mother?
I'm all the side characters.
You're all the side characters, yeah. Mother, I'm home. My mother appeared out of her bedroom with a frown on her face.
Why are you home so late? You should have called me. I was worried.
I'm sorry. I had broken the heel on my shoe and I went to get it fixed after work. I didn't think it would take as long as it did to get it repaired.
Did you eat yet?
Yes, I had something while waiting.
Then remember to call me next time.
Fenrir knows.
Fenrir vindicated. All this food I made for you is cold.
I'm sorry.
Don't be out so late again. If you need to run an errand, have it done during the day. The streets are dangerous for a young woman like you.
Yes, Mother. I understand.
I'm so tired now after waiting up with worry. Pack up the food for me. I'm going to sleep now.
Okay, I'm sorry to have made you worry. My mother walked back into her bedroom as quietly as she came. I packed up the food she had left for me as silently as I could. I'd forgotten about my mother. It was my habit to call her if something came up at work for me to come home late. If I forgot to let her know, she would wait up all night worrying over me. It was my fault to have provoked such a feeling. Seeing her leave out a meal for me on the kitchen table made my heart swell with guilt. Whatever energy that I had earlier had all but left me now. I was all wrung out. I should finish cleaning the dishes and wash up. I have another day at work tomorrow. That girl Sam. It must be nice to be so carefree like that. New music just dropped. I feel like I should turn the music up a little bit because it's like very quiet for stream. Oh shit. Oh, this is great. I'm not sure what Mr. Wong had done. Whether it was his sheer craftsmanship or if it was by some occult power, All I knew was that he had done some transformative work on my shoes. My heels were even more comfortable to wear compared to before. Wondered if he had adjusted the heel length on them. I felt taller and more confident with every step I took. I don't think that's the shoes girl.
I don't think that's the shoes.
My calf looked more slender and shapely wearing them. Perhaps next time I'll try wearing them without pantyhose. What a time-honored skill Mr. Wong must possess. I'm sure many people will rely on his services for years and years to come. I wish I could write a review for him. He certainly deserves the praise. Today was just flying by. My commute to work was smooth. I was even able to get a seat on the subway on the way to work. I suppose for every bad day, a good day will come to make up for it. There was a lull in the day. I went for a sit-in lunch. My usual restaurant had hardly a queue to get inside.
Miss, your usual order?
Today I'll have the curry beef brisket, please.
Okay.
It was a wonderfully seamless day. I was thinking I could leave work early.
Hey!
Yes?
You're leaving already?
Yes, that's right.
You forgot about me already?
You're the new hire in the accounting department. Johnny?
It's Joey.
Right, Joey. I apologize.
That's okay, we never formally introduced ourselves to each other. I've only been here for a few weeks. Your name is Michelle, right? Or should I call you Slippers Chung?
Please don't call me that. I was hoping people would forget about that already.
But it's so funny. Hey, has anyone said that you look a bit like Momoko Kikuchi?
Each child?
The Japanese pop idol. Yeah, don't you think so?
No way. There's no way I could look like a pop singer.
Don't be so modest. I'll show you her photo book. You really look like her.
I hate this man already.
This man sucks.
You don't have to go so far as to do that. What is it?
I don't see you wearing those slippers today. You got your shoes fixed?
Oh, please don't tease me about it anymore. Even the supervisor was heckling me about it this morning.
It's a great story, though. Don't you think it adds more to your character?
Character?
When I first saw you, I thought you were like a boss character.
Boss character? Mrs. Tam is our boss.
Not that kind of boss. I mean, I meant to say that you seemed hard to approach at first. So for you to come into work in slippers like that, it's like, oh, a weakness. I mean it as a compliment.
I don't quite understand, but I appreciate your compliment.
Yeah. You're heading home now?
Yes. I was just about to go.
Oh, me too. You take the Sen Wong line, right? I'll go with you.
Okay, then.
There's this noodle house that just opened. I heard from some of my friends that it's pretty good. Do you want to try it with me? It's really,
The next station is Mongkok. Doors will open to your right. The train had been slowing down to stop at the next station, and as I was about to answer, I was pushed by the other commuters looking to get off at the stop.
You okay, Michelle? You gotta be like water and evade other people on the train.
Yes, I got distracted.
So what about that noodle place?
I'm sorry, I have to get off here.
I thought you had a few more stops.
I forgot I had something I needed to pick up. Next time, okay?
Okay. Not a big deal. It's always the next time. See you tomorrow.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
I don't trust this man.
Fenrir, sir, step away from the lesbian.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure why I made up such an excuse to get away from him. I do. From what I've heard, Joey's a good, respectable guy. I heard from other coworkers that he had studied abroad and had only recently returned to Hong Kong upon completing his graduate studies. I'm sure there's a lot I could talk to him about, and yet, here I am. I was back in the same district where I'd had my shoes fixed the other day. I should take my time to look around. It'd be awkward if I got back on the train and I ran into Joey by accident at the next stop. Since I was already here, I could take a look at the shops for a bit. I didn't have a chance to really browse the shops because of that girl, Sam, the other day. Now that I think of it, didn't she mention she had a shop around here? It shouldn't be too far of a walk from here. Yeah, he did put up red flags immediately. He did put... I'm glad that everybody here...
Yeah, no, he was bursting with red flags. He was like, there were alarms going off.
So many. So many. Alright.
DEFCON 5.
A video store.
Wait, DEFCON.
A video store.
Never mind.
What?
I was remembering how DEFCON worked. I think it's the smaller the number, the more terrifying it is.
I mean, I think all of them are bad, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I feel like he's at 5 right now. I get the sense that later he's gonna go to the other numbers.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
A video store. I had no expectations to actually come across the video store of that girl I had met yesterday. Besides the street level storefronts, there are a multitude of stores located within indoor shopping arcades, and as well as many other outdoor market stores that were scattered across this whole neighborhood district. Sam had only vaguely mentioned the location of her store. To find such a specific store without a specific address, I might as well have searched for a needle in a haystack. Did she even want me to find her store? She should have given me a business card. If she did. Diamond Videos? What kind of store name was that? Diamond would be more suitable for something a little more valuable than video cassettes. I giggled to myself. At this rate, perhaps it might just be a diamond in the rough if I could find it. I didn't put too much hope in it, though. I walked through a whole shopping arcade and I've yet to come across her store. Nonetheless, I kept walking. I was testing out my shoes. My feet carried me forward without effort. My shoes felt comfortable and light. It was satisfying to hear the sound of the heel hitting the pavement. I passed by a few electronic stores. I saw from the window that they had an assortment of televisions and stereo devices for sale. I did not see any stores having home videos. Perhaps my father would have known better than me where to find a store like this. If he was alive, I'm sure he would still be coming to this neighborhood to regularly look at the stereo devices on display. He'd always liked to tinker with his sound system. In the past, I would have asked him to bring me along with him on his free weekends, and I would take a look at the new records on the shops nearby. My mother would also come along to look for her Chinese opera records. That was many years ago. Things changed fast around here. I could hardly recognize any of the stores now. I'd walked a few blocks and reached the end of the street. I looked left and right. It seemed like there wasn't a lot of stores ahead. I looked up. There's a strobing neon sign above me. It might just be video, adult video. I craned my head to do a double take. I saw there was a massage parlor in the unit above. A seedy movie theater was in the building beside it. My left eye twitched. I've been looking at a computer monitor all day. What I should do is kick back at home with a cool compress over my eyes. Forgot to do that the other night. The heat of the buildings and all the people in the streets made the night air here humid and dense. I felt a bit uncomfortable, there was something heavy wrapping itself around me. If I continued down the street corner, I'd enter the grittier part of Portland Street. Should I try another street? I peered ahead and I saw a street sign asking office ladies to be wary of pickpocketers. Perhaps not. I glanced at my wristwatch. It was getting late. It's about time I called it quits and headed home. I clicked my heels together 3 times and chuckled to myself. There's no place like home. As I was turning around, I felt the shadow of someone walk past me. The person walked quickly behind me. It wasn't anything, but it felt suspicious. I tried to catch a glimpse of that person before they got away. In the corner of my eye, I saw that it was a woman in a long robe dress. It was much like a Cantonese opera stage costume. She had a long, wavy hair. I vaguely recalled seeing Sam? It was the first thought that came into my mind. I wasn't exactly sure who it was, but the profile was close enough to Sam's to make me question my eyesight. Whoever it was, she gave off a strange energy, enough to throw me off kilter. Even though I was just complaining about the warm, humid air in my mind earlier, the air around me soon felt cold. I composed myself. I was heading home anyway. It was just not my luck to find the video store today. I continued my walk back in the direction from which I came. But as I continued walking, I noticed shops that I did not recall seeing earlier. There was a store that carved wood caskets, and a few others selling paper effigies, altars, incense, and lanterns. It struck me as strange, as I thought I had been walking in the opposite direction of Temple Street, where such stores were common in that area. Had I really walked down the wrong street? I looked left, right, forward, and back. I realized I had wandered somewhere quite far from where I started out. I didn't recognize the road signs nor any of the landmarks. The quietness of the street was quite unsettling. I coughed from the thick plumes of incense smoke in the air. It was eerie how one wrong turn can make a world of difference. I walked for a long time without seeing another pedestrian. I tried not to think about it. I hastened my pace. I wanted to get back to the station or hail a taxi, but there was no passing taxi. Despite how far I kept walking, I couldn't seem to find my way back to the station. I was getting more and more lost in the labyrinth of small and narrow streets. I crossed the next street, and I felt something wet on my head. It was a water droplet. I wasn't underneath a rain cloud, nor was I underneath hanging laundry or an air conditioner. I felt uncomfortable. The hair on the back of my neck rose. I could feel the intense stare of someone behind me. I quickly turned around. I saw an old woman looking at me. She was seated on a small stool in the street corner. Her eyes were sunken deep with age. She wore a black traditional dress robe, and she combed her hair in a tight bun. Her dress hid most of her body, but I could see that she was quite a small person. Her back was bent forward with scoliosis, making her appear even smaller. Lotus flowers were placed on a mat beside her. She appeared to be selling them. She didn't appear to be someone dangerous. Rather, she seemed to me like a gentle and lonely old woman who lived a lifetime of honest but hard labor. A coin for a flower seemed like a small pittance, but it could mean a meal for her. I reached for my coin purse. This is
Young lady, haven't you realized that there's another path? I'm trying to find old lady voice. It's difficult.
Yeah, gotta do old lady voice.
Sometimes the road won't appear until you take the first step towards it.
Huh? I looked up, and somehow the old lady merchant had disappeared right before my eyes. That's not weird.
That's normal.
The street corner where I thought she sat had no one. Behind it was just an empty alleyway. I stood, dumbfounded. There was not a trace of her. No stool, no mat, not even a lotus petal was left behind. I was starting to feel quite frightened. Where did she go? Had I been seeing and hearing things this whole time? I asked myself. I suppose this was what I was walking alone I suppose this was what I get for walking alone in an unfamiliar place. I approached the alley. I had to get a closer look. Perhaps it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. My heart started racing as I cautiously approached the alley. And I peered in, thinking, praying that it wasn't all a malicious ploy by someone out to get me. But rest assured, there was not a soul. I suppose the old lady packed up her things and left. I looked through the alleyway again, saw in the distance a familiar blinking sign. I realized I could cut through the alley to where I was earlier. I took my chances. I didn't think too much. A dark alley has its dangers, but at this moment, I was more afraid of being stuck in some unfamiliar place. I hated the feeling of being lost. I tailed it through the alley. And as soon as I stepped out of it, I felt the air pressure immediately change. The street was bustling with human activity. It was warm and humid. I didn't mind it as much this time. It was comforting to hear the sounds and chatter of people going about their busyness. I was back to where I started, before everything strange started happening. Ironically enough, it was the blinking adult video sign that signaled me back to this place. I was about to head out, this time in the correct direction, when I heard the muffled sounds of someone calling my name.
Michelle!
Where was it coming from?
Michelle!
I heard my name being called out again. I looked across the street and I saw her standing outside a store. It was Sam. She had the door open and gestured for me to come inside. It was a tiny and dimly lit shop sandwiched between what looked like questionable establishments. I hadn't noticed her store even when I had walked past it earlier. My eyes weren't fooling me this time, right? I crossed the street. It was indeed Sam. Her smile, her gestures, it was without a doubt Sam. I was a little unnerved by what had happened earlier, but I felt much more at ease to see a friendly face. Sam's excitement, to me, was earnest. I would put behind me this strange sequence of events. It'll be a later date, when I have to recall the words of the old lady.
We should take our break.
Yeah, I'm gonna save here.
Yep,
oh,
save here.
Shit. The music, though.
I'm excited. Okay.
Oh.
We'll be back in 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Hello. We're here with some kick-ass music. I need to turn the music down, though. It's very loud. Some of these songs are very loud, and some of them are quieter, but I want everyone to have a good experience. Oh. Lol. I'm gonna load. I'm gonna load the save that I just saved. There we go. Because I clicked the thing, and I did not mean to. Alright. This is why you save your video game. Sam welcomed me into her store. It was a video store exactly as she had described. Her store wasn't too big, her counter was small. She had for a seat a folding chair and a stool that also appeared to double as a dining table in times of need. The store was stacked floor to ceiling with shelves and boxes of videotapes and laserdiscs. A small TV was plugged in near where she sat. It had a video of a black and white film playing.
Hey, Michelle. I saw you walking outside earlier. You alright? You look a little dazed.
I'm fine.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon. Was there something you were looking for today? Or were you looking for me?
I was just in the area, right? You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You gotta be a little shy. You gotta be a little shy.
I was just in the area.
I was just in the area. No, I was just in the area. I just randomly came here. I just happened
to be here.
I was just passing by.
What a coincidence, then. Since you're here, why don't you take a look around my store? If you find something you like, I'll give you a special discount.
Okay. I looked around. She had the typical assortment of contemporary American and Asian films, television dramas, karaoke discs, and direct-to-home videos. Sam also had a section of classic Hollywood films such as Sound of Music and Casablanca. I remember I watched some of these films with my mother when I was younger. I wondered if my mother would want to watch these films with me again. The thought had never occurred to me that I could revisit these films with home video. Ugh.
Oh,
Let's just
hot.
take a moment. Let's just take
Good
a minute.
photo. Good.
Like
Good,
I'm saying,
beautiful.
go to the website, get some photos. This shit fucking slaps. I love this video game. It's a good video game. This is why we play good video games between the bad video games.
Uh-huh.
Alright. I felt Sam's eyes on me. She acted as if she was flipping through her ledger, but she was definitely looking at me. She had a slight grin on the corner of her lips. I didn't like being stared at. I picked up a tape off the shelf and read the back cover. I didn't have any particular movie I wanted to watch, but I didn't want Sam to think that I came over to her store just to loiter. I wasn't much of a moviegoer. The last time I watched a movie in theaters must have been 2 years ago. So true. I preferred to instead read a book from the comfort of my home. I like being able to follow along something at my own pace. It's not that I disliked movies. I want to be able to feel something, anything, out of my own thoughts and volition. I don't like being forced to feel a certain way because of some graphic image on screen. I wondered what about film that made Sam get into this kind of business. Put the tape back down. Sam was still looking my way. She seemed like she was waiting for me to ask her something. I pretended not to notice. I continued browsing. I saw that Sam kept a special selection of films in the corner of her store. Guessing by the languages on the covers, some looked like they were directly imported from their source country. A few English language films had a sticker on them indicating that you needed special hardware to play the tape. I examined this section closely. Her eyes continued to follow mine. I didn't recognize any of the movies in this section. Even for the Chinese language films in this section, they were all by directors I never heard of before. The films looked quite old and predated even the films I watched with my mother. I struggled to pronounce the titles of some of them. Ma Chen in Uniform?
Oh my god.
Do you know this movie?
Uh-huh.
I don't. What language was this one? Do you want to share, or is it funnier if I don't know?
It's it's a movie where a teacher has a romance with her female student.
Oh
From the
no.
30s.
Oh no. Like the movie is from the 30s or set
Yes.
in the 30s?
Was made in the 30s.
Wow.
It's generally considered the first film. It is considered the first film where two women kiss.
Wow. Yep. Normal. It's normal. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Sam got up from her stool.
Do you have any questions about these films?
What are these tapes? They look like bootlegs.
They're not bootlegs. They're copies of rare and experimental films.
Can you really set up a shop with this with these kinds of tapes? It seems hard to sell.
There's nothing wrong with them. One day, someone's going to wish there were more copies of these films floating around.
Do you really make money selling these films?
I do. Special interests. The lease ain't free. You gotta find a way to reach out to every kind of client. While I have my loyal customers, certain movies really do help pad out the sales.
Eh? What's that?
It's nothing. Would you like to look at anything else?
Do you have any Chinese classics? I'll get something for my mother.
Of course.
How can
I stay in business if I don't? Any particular one you think she'll like?
I'm not sure. My mother really liked the movie The Dream of the Red Chamber.
Which version did she like?
I think the one with Bridget Lin?
Is she a fan of Bridget Lynn? I have a lot of her other movies.
No, not really. I don't think she particularly likes her movies.
She's the biggest superstar of Taiwan and Hong Kong.
My mother isn't up to date with celebrity trends. She was and will always be a fan of Yam Kim Faye. She loves Cantonese opera. Perhaps she might like a recording of one of her films. Oh.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm suddenly like reading all your lines.
How dare you? Yam is quite a popular figure, isn't she? My mother was a fan too. Has she watched The Purple Hairpin?
Definitely. I'm sure she'll watch it again though. I'll get a copy.
Okay. This version of it is good. The sound is in stereo quality.
Thanks.
How about for yourself? Is there anything that you're looking for? Just name it and I can find it for you.
I'm not sure. I don't have a particular one I'm looking for right now.
What kind of movies do you like?
I mean, do we be honest? Are we painfully honest?
I think so.
Or do we lie?
This character seems extremely painfully honest.
Yeah, she does seem extremely painfully honest, doesn't she?
I'm so sorry.
She seems like such a nerd.
I prefer reading a book. Sorry, I just need to read out two comments of Sada's. Michelle in 2022 is posting on Twitter that making movies is problematic because they make people feel things without explicit consent. Absolutely. And is this plot about how Sam sells porn to fund her passion project of archiving queer cinema because that's real as hell? I think so, but I think she also just sells, like...
everything?
You know, blockbusters and stuff.
Yeah.
But also, I'm sure she sells porn.
Oh, 100%. That's like you gotta ask her for it, though. She'll take it out, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of movies. I prefer reading a book instead.
Is that so? Can you tell me why?
Well, sometimes I feel more moved. If I could imagine something for myself instead of watching it on a screen.
My Michelle, you're quite a dreamy girl.
I wouldn't say that. I just like to be quiet with my own thoughts.
Michelle.
What kind of movies do you like, Sam? What made you want to run a video store?
As long as I can remember, I've been watching movies. I like every kind of film. Comedy, action, romance, drama, I can watch anything. What I like about film is watching the actors and actresses bring their story to life. Along with the film set. The cinematography, the sound direction. Sometimes it all comes together to create a picture so vivid and beautiful that it leaves a lasting impression on me. The films that I like are the ones I'll never forget. You just want to go back and watch them so you can think about them again. That's what makes home videos so wonderful to me. I'm sorry.
What do you... Wow. Data coming in hot. You got opinions tonight.
That they're on a set and... No, like, I do feel like people do talk about this movies in this way, but also it's so funny to think about it like, oh yeah, I love movies. They're on a set and they have sound direction.
Sometimes you're thinking about a specific movie and you're like, ugh, I love music. And you're like, that's such a weird statement to make, but you're thinking about a specific movie. Anyways.
But I also like that Sada's truther thing here, along with my daddy's fish food thing, is Sam has never seen a movie.
I see. My heart ached at hearing Sam's words. Very different reaction to you, Seda.
Have you seen this movie?
Sam pointed to her tiny television screen. Haha! No, we both tried to steal from each other. Gotcha! It was a black and white Chinese silent film. It was made quite before my time. I didn't recognize any of the actors. No, what is it? Sam showed me the tape.
This film is one of Ron Lingyu's strongest performances. New Women.
Ron Lingyu? I don't think I've heard of her.
She also went by the English name Lily Wen. She was a silent film star in Shanghai during the 1930s.
I'm glad you got
Ron
that.
was, of course, of Cantonese origins. Her Cantonese accent notwithstanding. Her success as an actress was before the advent of sound in Chinese cinema. You can see in her films that she was talented in portraying a variety of characters with a high level of emotional depth. I won't tell you too much about her until after you finish the film. But I have to say, this film carries a lot more weight once you know what happened.
I see. That's interesting. How did you come across her films? I'm sure even my mother wouldn't know about them.
I had heard a little bit about her films before from people old enough to be alive during her time. It was only recently that her films were taken out of the archives, so I had my chance to finally watch them myself. Ah, you can watch it here. It's not that long. Here, have a seat. I'll rewind it to the beginning.
Huh? It's alright. I'll get a copy.
Okay. I'll give you 20% off.
20% only? Can I buy one, get one?
I'd love to, but I have to be fair to every customer. I'll discount you more if you're a returning customer. I also do rentals.
Is that really fair then? Alright, here.
Thank you.
What is the movie about?
Well, it's about an educated woman played by Ron, and what she has to do to survive in the society of the time. It's quite a brave film considering its time of release. The last scene always gives me chills. It's hard to describe the film, you just have to watch it and see. Tell me what you think after you finished it.
Okay.
I hope you like it.
I've been taking up a lot of your time. I shouldn't be keeping you from your work any longer. I should get going.
Ah! Are you busy tonight?
I don't have any particular plans.
Would you like to come with me to a show?
A show?
It's at this pub near the station here. I know the owner quite well and she puts on a special event every month.
A pub? What about your shop?
It's okay, I'll just lock it up. It's about time I close up anyway.
Really? The sign outside your door says you still have half an hour till closing.
Closing time is subject to management.
What kind of management is that?
Don't worry about it. Come on, let's go.
I love
Girl, you
Sam.
can't take her to a lesbian bar on the second
Yes, you
date.
can. Yes, you
She
can.
doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know that you're dating yet.
Sam
Oh my
ushered me
God.
out of her shop and quickly shuttered the gates. I could try watching the movie she recommended, but I didn't really like the idea of going along with her to a pub. I was about to protest, but protest had not the venue been in the direction of the subway station. I figured I'll go along with her for a bit and then excuse myself later. We had a nice conversation. Sam seemed cheerful. I didn't want to dampen her mood. Sam walked next to me, humming an upbeat song. She had on a ritzy outfit today. I didn't notice it at first when she was sitting behind her shop counter. It was quite outstanding. Sam wore a hibiscus red blouse, a fitted skirt, and paired these items with pointed toe heels. What a strange shopkeeper. I've never seen anyone tend a store dressed like that. I was dressed in my usual office attire, formal, neat, and clean. I don't have the look of someone going to bars after work. As we walked, the streets got more and more crowded the closer we approached the station. The sidewalk was shoulder to shoulder with pedestrians going home, going out, going somewhere. I took off my jacket. It was warm. I felt awkward around Sam. From afar, I'm sure no one would think we had anything to do with each other. The subway entrance should be just around the corner ahead. It was about time I took my leave. I shouldn't involve myself with Sam anymore tonight. Not like this, I thought. Sam?
We're here. The venue's just down these stairs.
Sam gestured to the narrow stairwell leading down into the basement of a pre-war apartment building. The entrance was open. It was an otherwise inconspicuous place. I looked for the name of the establishment. All the place had for signage was a bolted plate beside the entrance door, which indicated in small font that it was, in fact, a bar and disco. I felt uneasy. I better not today.
Michelle?
I have to get going.
Oh.
I have some things I got to take care of.
Aw, that's too bad.
I'm sorry.
No worries, there's always a next time.
Oof.
Oh no.
Intentional writing.
Oh no.
Sam smiled lightly. I hate when people write things with meaning behind them.
Oh.
Did she feel disappointed? Sam...
I'll walk you to the station.
That's alright. I hope you have a good night. I'm gonna head out now. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
A
wild lesbian has appeared. God. Alright. Fenrir, hello. Yes, I think that's all of us. We are all hello right now. Alright. A woman in an ostentatious green power suit suddenly appeared between us. She put her arm around Sam's waist. She seemed well acquainted with Sam. Do you want to be this person, or do you want me to be? Because she might show up a lot.
That's a good question.
I can take her if you want.
You take her for now, and then maybe if we have
we'll switch off. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Samantha, what are you doing just standing out here? Hurry up and get in.
Huh? What are you doing out here, Cecilia?
I love that name. Huh? You don't see me working. I have to be my own planner, promoter, security. I might as well be my own performer too if I have to do everything around here.
You're busy as always, aren't you?
Always. I saw you loitering outside. How rude. Blocking my entrance like that. Just get inside already and make my place look lively.
Sorry.
Huh? Who's this? You brought someone this time? Don't tell me this is...
Cecilia, this is Michelle. Michelle, Cecilia.
Well, aren't you something? I'm sorry, I'm actually leaving. Hey. Miss Wong, didn't you tell her it's ladies' night? There's no cover charge. That's not it, I have to catch the train. Oh, that's me. For some reason, I thought that was you. What? Where did you find this girl? She's so cold. You come in and sit for a bit, okay? Relax. You're much too stressed from work. Drink something to warm yourself up, Aya? Cecilia proceeded to put her arms around my shoulder and walked me down into the bar. Sam shrugged and followed me in. Cecilia then excused herself and began chatting up other patrons in the bar. I love this place. I want to be there. I want to go there.
I want to go to there.
It's always ladies' night. Amazing. Yes, absolutely. She seemed like a busybody. The bar was named Ruby. I figured from a pink neon sign that was lit on the wall. It was a weathered-looking bar that appeared as if it had gone through several aesthetic transformations throughout the years. Furniture was mismatched, and the paint job was uneven and chipped in some corners. If I had to describe what its decor was like to a magazine publicist, I would say that it was a valiant attempt at combining cosmopolitan posh and tropical boathouse. Neon lights colored the thick plumes of cigarette smoke in the air. Oh, right, it's the 80s. Lounging funk music played from a sound system that is reminiscent of the one my elementary system had in the gymnasium. The bass was terribly loud and made an awful buzzing and crackling sound. Regardless of what I thought of the bar's visual and sound aesthetics, people seemed to be having a good time. If they weren't shaking their heads to the music, they were mingling around the tables with drinks in hand. I surveyed the room. Thought Sam's bare legs were too risque, but compared to everyone else here, she was considered modestly dressed. People wore flashy outfits. They were outrageously over the top. There were women who dressed like men, and others who dressed like circus performers. It was like a British fashion show. I wasn't the only person dressed in office attire, but I certainly felt out of place here. Sam suggested we sit down at the bar. I sat down on the seat at the end of the counter. Sam took the seat next to me, first exchanging greetings with the bartender before sitting down on the high stool. Every time Sam crossed her legs, I noticed her skirt would inch dangerously higher. This was not good. Did Sam not notice this? My mother would have chastised me over such unladylike dress and behavior. I supposed Sam wasn't someone I could consider exactly feminine. A lady wouldn't go to a pub on her own, and a lady certainly wouldn't be on a first-name basis with the bartender. All right, we're just gonna linger here for a minute.
Incredible.
This is a normal. I just have to say, this has to be what Michelle is like seeing, right? Like this is her point of view. Everything else has dropped away. It is literally just Sam. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. Sam ordered a drink. It was her usual, apparently, a tequila sunrise. Sam asked if I wanted to have the same drink with her, but I refused. I asked for a glass of water instead. I didn't want to drink tonight. It was a weeknight, and I had my own sense of pride. I wanted to do things on my own terms, not just to please someone else. Wow, she's actually cool? Michelle's actually good and has boundaries? The bartender made a strange look to Sam. Sam carried on with her smiles. Couldn't read Sam's thoughts, but I tried not to think about it. Sam tapped her fingers to the beat of the music. She noted to me the names of the songs that played. I nodded along. It was something outside my knowledge. I noticed that Sam wasn't someone in need of company. Several people came over and gave their regards to Sam. Sam appeared to be popular here. One woman took a seat next to Sam. She wore a normal broad-shouldered office suit, however, the fitting was several sizes too large for her small frame. She kept her hair short, much like a boy's cut, and wore sunglasses indoors. It was a strange pub. It had a disproportionate number of women versus men. I guess that's what Cecilia meant by ladies' night. The strange woman continued talking to Sam. Their conversation wasn't something I could easily join. Their way of talking was obtuse. There were a lot of expressions and colloquial speech I could not understand. I turned away and looked at the empty stage. Wondered what kind of musical performance would be tonight. I doubted it would suit my taste. Why did Sam invite me here? I felt a hand on my leg. It was Sam's. She placed her hand lightly on my knee. Sam looked at me with a concerned face. The suit-wearing woman excused herself and left to join another table.
Are you alright, Michelle?
I'm fine.
I haven't been here for a while, so some old friends came by to say hello. I didn't mean to ignore you.
That's fine. You can talk to whoever you want.
Michelle, I'm sorry about earlier. Cecilia can be forceful sometimes.
No, I get it. She reminds me of my boss.
Really? You know, Cecilia used to be my boss at one point. I could never catch a break.
Ambitious women are like that.
What's that?
What business did you have with her?
Eh. It's not anything like that. She's like a big sister to me.
Huh? Big sister?
Yeah, someone who takes care and invites you out for a meal together, that's all.
I meant about your work.
Oh! Yes. Some years ago, a relative of hers owned a record store, so I helped them manage it at the time. Cecilia acted as if she owned the place, though. And treated herself as my boss. Let me tell you, she was fierce. She'd be upset with me if I couldn't name the songs off the Billboard charts. And she would give me hell if the books were off by even 1 cent.
Oh, you mentioned that before. That was who you were talking about.
Yes, that's right. Looking back, it was a fun stint. I learned a lot then. When the owner decided to close down the record store, Cecilia swooped in and asked me if I wanted to lease the newly freed space from her. I didn't know anything about owning a store then. I had a really tough start. But I was able to turn things around with all the people helping me. I wouldn't be where I am without them.
I see. I'm glad it worked out for you. It's nice to have people looking out for you.
Yes!
Do you like running your own store?
Huh? Well, there's ups and downs. But I like the feeling of being my own boss. I can set my own hours. I can pick out what I want to sell. I can really make it my own, which I like. I'm still learning what it means to be a successful business owner. There's a lot of trial and error sometimes. But I think I'm doing pretty well for myself now.
I see. That's good for you.
What about you? What led to you to be in a publishing company?
Nothing in particular, really. I was recommended the position when I was in university by a professor. I got the job and I've been there ever since. I've only been working for about a year, though.
Ah, is that so? Do you enjoy your work?
Work is work. I can't say I enjoy it, but it is what it is.
I see.
There was an awkward lull in our conversation. I didn't know what to talk about. It was a loud and busy place. I didn't want to raise my voice or bring up personal things here. Sam didn't seem too bothered. She seemed to enjoy this kind of atmosphere. She looked around and sipped on her drink slowly. When a fast-paced song came along, her fingers would automatically start tapping along with the beat. I noticed that she touched her hair a lot. Whenever she brushed her hair back, her gold-colored earrings would catch light from the stage. Sam's appearance caught eyes. Even though we sat in the corner end of the bar, anyone who walked by would turn and take a second glance at her. Sam had a different look to her today. It was an adult and mature look, a complete contrast to what I remembered her wearing the other day. Yesterday's Sam had a laid-back and casual atmosphere to her. Tonight's Sam gave me a feeling of unpredictability. I never met a person like Sam before. Sam leaned closer to me. She was about to say something. I turned away to avoid her eye contact. I didn't want Sam to read my expression. It wasn't that I felt intimidated by Sam. Rather, I couldn't guess her motive. I felt a loss. I didn't want Sam to know that. Sam continued the conversation.
I know you mentioned before that we had differing musical tastes. So far, how do you like the music here?
I think it's I can't say.
I can't say.
She
I'm
can't
so
even.
overwhelmed.
She doesn't know the queer lingo. She doesn't know, like, what even are these songs? They're fast paced. Yeah. This kind of music is new to me. I can't really say I like it.
I see. I appreciate you coming with me tonight. You know, this place plays a bit of everything. They'll play the most popular songs off the UK and American charts, and they'll also play Cantonese and Japanese hits as well. Every fourth Thursday of the month, they have a special disco night where they bring back the older dance charts.
Disco? As Sam was about to answer, Cecilia came in and gave a hard smack to my back before taking a seat next to Sam. Cecilia was friendly towards Sam, but I felt an air of hostility from her. I should be careful around her. How are you ladies doing tonight?
Hey Cecilia, you finally pulled away from all your guests?
For now. I still have so much to do as tonight's host.
Is that so?
Hey, Samantha, what are you doing with your little guest in the corner? Is that a glass of water?
Oh.
What about it? I told you to loosen up a bit.
Cecilia!
Cecilia snapped her fingers and ordered something from the bartender. Here, a fun drink for you. A tequila sunrise, on the house. And if you're not a cocktail girl, a glass of my finest champagne. I had it uncorked just for you.
Cecilia, stop. That's enough.
Huh? Why not?
She doesn't want it. Don't force her.
I'm trying to show her a good time. Don't you see her moping in the corner with a glass of water? Come on, cheer her up. I'm not moping. Okay, why don't you have a drink with me? Don't be rude to your host. Which one will you pick?
I want her to loosen up a bit. I want her to loosen up.
You don't think she's gonna challenge? Yeah, I don't think she would do both. No, you want her to pick one. You want her to pick one. Tequila. I want to do tequila sunrise because it's the same drink that Sam was drinking.
Yes, definitely the right. I think it's the right call.
Yeah. Oh, you picked this one, huh? I took the fruity drink from Cecilia and tried to down it. It had a sweet flavor, but the underlying alcohol taste was sharp in my mouth. Couldn't drink it all at once. I knew I was playing into her hands, but I'd rather not lose face to Cecilia. I didn't understand why Cecilia had to push me around like this. I didn't do anything to her. Cecilia coolly drank her champagne with a smile. You know, that's Samantha's favorite drink. Good for you to try it.
Michelle, don't worry about it. You don't have to actually drink it. Here, I'll finish it for you.
Sam, you're too soft.
Be easy on her. It's still a weeknight.
Huh.
Cecilia, when are the musicians starting? Why don't we all get on the dance floor?
That's right. I have to get them ready. When I come back, I better find you girls on the dance floor. Later, loves.
Hey, don't take whatever Cecilia said to heart. That's just her big sister way of showing her care.
I didn't take it to heart.
Oh, that's good. She's a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want you to dislike her.
I see.
If you're tired, we can call it a night.
It's alright. Sam, thanks for what you did earlier.
Don't worry about it. I just hope you're not feeling down because of me.
I wanted to say to Sam that it wasn't her fault. Before I could finish my thoughts, Cecilia was there again to interrupt me. The club music had stopped playing, and she appeared on the stage under a bright spotlight. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is everyone having a fabulous night? The crowd roared in a cheer. Is that a cheer? You can be louder than that. Don't fall asleep now. We got special guests tonight to get your body moving. If you're sitting at the tables, get your dancing shoes on and get up on the dance floor. Let's welcome Sister Sisters. A group of musicians and dancers got up on the stage. People quickly crowded the platform. The bar that seemed half empty before quickly filled up. Those who were previously sitting at the tables were all on the dance floor now. The drummer counted in, and the sound of heavy synthesizers and bass followed.
Let's go.
The room was filled with the sound of upbeat music. I looked at my watch. It was just after 11 o'clock. If I left now, I could be home before midnight. I wasn't a dancer. I didn't like to drink. Now was a good time to excuse myself. Sam could go enjoy the rest of the night the way she wanted. I never intended to stay with her as long as I did. That's true. Oh my god, Fen, you're right.
Yeah, she's super
Oh
didn't.
no. I got up from the bar stool. Sam,
Before you go, may I have this dance with you?
Huh? Sam held out her hand. Sam said something, but I couldn't quite hear her words. The music was deafening. We could hardly talk without yelling.
May I?
What?
Let's dance!
I don't know how to dance.
I can show you.
I should go. I don't really know this song.
Is that so? I love this song.
Huh? I said I'm going.
You'll go? Alright, let's hit the dance floor!
Huh? Are you hearing me properly? Sam's cheeks were flushed from the drinks, though there was a sense of clarity in her eyes. There was some frantic energy in her appearance. Sam held onto my wrists. Her hands were sweaty. Sam? She pulled me into the mob. What? The lights were strobing. People danced in every direction. Hands were in the air. Someone was laughing. Someone was screaming. I was being pushed by moving bodies from every direction. It was hot and tight in the disco. The plumes of smoke had gotten even thicker. I felt suffocated. It was as if that for these people, tonight was all that mattered. There were no thoughts about the handover, not the growing economic uncertainty in the city. Here, the liquor flowed endlessly. Money came easy, and Hong Kong will always be the same. Sam danced to the rhythm of the music. Let's go.
Hell yes.
Sam moved left, right, and all around. Her body moved freely without regard to the movement of others around her. She stood out from everyone in the crowd. I couldn't do anything except follow her with my eyes. It was vivacious. The music continued one song after another. She continued dancing to the music. As I stood watching her, I realized that Sam was in a world I did not know and did not associate with. And a perverse thought repeated in my mind.
Pervasive.
Thank you. that I didn't belong here.
Michelle, are you alright?
Sam stopped dancing. She held my wrist with her hand.
I was the one who brought you here. You must be tired. I'm sorry if this wasn't something you enjoyed. Would you like to go now?
It's not that, it's...
You know, a place like this is where I feel the most myself. It's like this messy, chaotic, confusing, but I feel free in this kind of space. It's a place where people come to have fun and to not think about their troubles for the day. People don't really judge you here. You can put aside money and status and dance the night away. You don't have to feel ashamed or hide who you are here in this place. You can put on whatever outfit and feel confident with yourself. It's that kind of special place to me.
Sam had a smile on her face, though she seemed to say these things to me from a distant place. There was a long pause between us. For some reason, I couldn't put together the words to answer her right away. I wanted to say something. I didn't want her to misunderstand me. I think it's the middle one, right? I see. No.
Okay, but consider, can you tell me more? Consider.
She's gotta get home to her mom.
I don't care.
Theta, I am straight up yearning right now.
I'm
You're not
yearning
alone.
too.
It's a good game. See? This is the palate cleanser we all needed.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, okay. Okay. You know what? We'll forget her mom. I'm sorry, Fenrir. I'm sorry,
She's forgotten her mom.
But we could remember.
No, we can't. She's in a lesbian bar talking to a girl she has a strange affection for, and she doesn't know what to do about it.
She doesn't. You don't know it's a lesbian bar. It's just run by a very vivacious woman.
Oh yeah, and filled with, quote, women who are dressed like men.
In suits, and it's, you know, it's eccentric.
Once again, I say Homer Simpson realizing he's in a lesbian bar. .jpg.
I don't know this JPEG, but I wish to.
I'm
okay.
gonna link it in the chat.
Thank you. Can you tell me more? I don't know much about it. I see. Could you tell me more about it? I never went to the disco before. It's a new thing for me. But I want to learn more about it from you. Maybe not right now. You're busy too.
Michelle.
Sam.
You're a little pale. Have you eaten yet?
Oh, that's right. I haven't eaten since lunch.
Would you like to get something as a snack to eat nearby before you go home? I'll walk you out.
Okay. We left the bar. I think this might be a good place to stop for the night.
Yeah, like, I know you're right. I know you're correct. Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're totally correct.
Uh-huh. And yet.
I'm linking Homer Simpson realizing he's in a lesbian bar. Hang on, let's give me a sec. Into the chat. I'm also the forgetful devil on Michelle's shoulder. Seda says, okay, I'm biased because I was a kid who once called my dad to be like, by the way, I've been in Toronto the past couple days. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. But every time calling the mom comes up, I'm surprised. Oh, if I had been out for this long without telling my parents, even at the age of 23, I, like Michelle, would have been in so much shit.
My father was pretty lenient. Like, he always had a rule, like, you know, you're home by 5 for dinner, but just text me if you're gonna be out late. Even if I texted him, I'm gonna be out late, and I was like, I'm not home until midnight. No. That would not go good. That would not go good.
No, it would not go good. I mean, listen, I know it's the 80s, so, like, obviously she doesn't have a cell phone, but my cell phone would have been lit up. I would have gotten the text of, like, call me.
Right.
When you see this.
My parents were like that too, Fen. They were very much like, you know, just tell us when you're coming back. But, like, there was I could be like midnight and I would get like 11:30 as a response, which is a fair response, but it was like there was a limit.
Mine was always just like, mine was similar to that. It was just, if you didn't get a response by a certain time, trouble. Serious trouble.
Okay, we should end for the night. We will be back next week with the rest. Maybe not the rest of this game. We might have to do 3 parts of this, and if we
may have to do 3 parts.
It's gonna go into the new year. We're gonna be taking a few weeks off, but we will finish this game.
I think we're on next week, so.
Yeah, we are on next week. But in case we don't finish next week, we will come back to this game after that. We are just going to take a break after that, though.
Yeah, we've done less than half of this game to my understanding, based on.
Oh.
Well,
vibes.
Well, listen, I don't know anything about this game for sure, but I'm gonna make a called shot.
Oh wait, you're totally right.
There's only
Oh wait, no, these are save slots. These are save slots.
Yeah.
Slots.
I'm just saying, my called shot is, I don't think Sam is the only love interest in this game.
I think you're right, but we're going for Sam, right? Do you think it's the guy? I absolutely don't think it's the guy. You think it's Cecilia?
No.
What?
Who is it? I think I know exactly who it is.
What?
I think it's her boss.
Oh. Oh. I like that called shot.
Yeah, it's definitely Mrs. Tam.
Yeah. All right. I
think we're gonna have to make a choice between Tam or Sam.
I mean, it's Sam.
We should meet Mrs. Tam. I like Sam. Don't get me wrong. I like Sam.
We're gonna date our boss. We're gonna do the reference, the movie that this game is referencing, or referenced once, I guess.
No, that's a teacher and a student, and that's very different. Okay. You shouldn't date your boss. In real life, you should not date your boss. No one date your boss.
Please don't date your boss.
Don't date your boss. But I'm just saying we should play through the game.
We have to end this. We will be back next week. Everyone is yearning. Bring your yearning for next week. There will be more fraught lesbians. I promise.
Hell yeah. And no matter what happens in this game, remember, don't date your boss. And
or your teacher.
Or your teacher. But if a girl takes you to a lesbian bar and you're uncomfortable,
you can leave.
I don't know, maybe just like feel it out for a little bit, and then maybe.
Okay. You can leave if you want.
Maybe dance a little bit, see how she's, get to know her, and if she's really cool and
All right. Good night, everybody.
Has definitely.
Good night. I'm ending the stream. Goodbye.
Bye.